Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Balnitai Prabhuji. Dandavats. Hare Krishna, everyone. We have the fortune of having Balnitai Prabhu. So, let's recite the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lavita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let us recite the invocation verses for Srimad Bhagavatam. And I will do one more thing. Okay. So, our obeisances, our pranam to Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadev Goswami and Suta Goswami and Shonakadi Rishis. Please repeat if possible. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraet
Tato Jayamudire
Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Yam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavate Uttama Shloke
Tir Bhavati Naishtiki
Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Okay. All right. So now we will continue from where we left off. So, okay, let me share this screen. All right. So last time where we had left off was that,
1 point.
sorry?
No, sorry, sir.
Yeah, we are in, you are able to see the screen, right? iPad screen? Yes. Okay, thanks. So, we are in Canto 1, Chapter 6. That's where we are. All right. And Narada Muni is describing his past life. And after the passing away of his mother, in a very detached way, he leaves and goes through many cities and forests in a very detached way and always continuously doing Sankirtan. And then, and every day he would sit down for meditation and focus on Lord Krishna in his heart. And then one time he actually got a momentary darshan of Bhagwan Vishnu. But that darshan disappeared very soon. I'm just doing a summary of what we covered. And then he became very sad. His meditation broke because he lost the darshan of Bhagwan. And he tried very hard to bring back that meditation on Bhagwan. Now, this is an extremely important point. We discussed about it last time. I'm not going to go into the details of Dhyan. But tomorrow in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, we will again cover this discussion on Dhyan very fairly deeply. So please attend that. It's a very important limb of Bhakti. And we will cover two specific limbs of Bhakti. I think they are number 45 or 46 or 46 or 47. One is smaran and one is dhyan. And we will cover it fairly deeply. So please attend. I already gave a talk at ISKCON Portland Sunday Feast a couple of weeks back. It is on YouTube. If you would like, you can hear that. It is also containing a similar discussion on dhyan, smaran and dhyan. So some very important concepts will be covered as to the importance of dhyan, how to do dhyan, what to do dhyan of, what will enable us to do high quality dhyan. So all these topics, so the entire science, you can say science or the theory of dhyan will be covered. So very important topic tomorrow as limbs of bhakti, dhyan and smaran and dhyan. Anyway, so he was doing dhyan and he tried to recreate it and he was unable to, which specifically means that dhyan has a specific meaning. You just cannot close your eyes and just, have a vision in your mind. That is one level of dhyan or remembrance or smaran. There are higher levels. So what he saw in his mind was a very high level of, he was in a very high level of smaran or dhyan, meditation, and he saw the Lord, the form of the Lord, which disappeared and he became very sad. And then he tried to recreate and he could not, or he tried to invite that form back to see it again. He was not able to. Then the Lord, he hears the voice of the Lord. And these are the 4 verses, 21 to 24. So here, 21 to 24, 1.6.21 to 24 are spoken by the Lord. Let us quickly go through these 4 verses again, just translations. and we will continue from there onwards. So just we will read translation, and I will request some devotees to read the translations. So Kaya Mataji, please read. Maybe each devotee can read two. So just read 2 translations in the interest of time.
Hare Krishna. O Narada, the Lord spoke. I regret that during this lifetime, you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints can hardly see me. O virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me, because the more you hanker for me, the more you will be freed from all material desires.
Thank you. Balnitai Prabhuji, please, if you could read for us.
By service of the absolute truth, even for a few days, the devotee attains firm and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. Intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time, even at the time of creation, as well as at the time of annihilation. Your remembrance will continue by my mercy.
Thank you, Prabhuji. All right, very good. So we will continue for today from verse number 25. Okay, so let us see. Okay, so this is a little bit more complicated meter. It is, the general name is called Upajati. I think that is the right name. And this one, typically Upajati has 11 syllables, but this one has 12 syllables in every line. And it is usually sung 11 or 12 are similarly sung. My wife will sing this. She's sitting right next to me here. It is sung in that same meter as Bhagavad Gita 8.9 or 8.10, like Prayana Kale Manasa Chalena. So in that sense, in that verse meter, okay?
Okay. एतावदुक्त्वोपररामतन्महद् भूतं नभो लिङ्गम् अलिङ्गम् ईश्वरम् अहं च तस्मै महतां महीयसे शेषनावनामन् विदधे अनुकम्पितः.
Were you able to hear the voice? The microphone worked? Okay, great. Thanks. So that is the how it is kind of, I would not be able to do it even that much, and I'm sure there are other devotees who can do it so much better. So what is being said here is that then the Lord stopped speaking. So etavad, which means then, or at that time, then. Uktvo means speaking. Are you seeing the screen? Is the screen visible? Upararama tan mahad. Tan mahad means that great voice or great Lord's voice. Upara Rama means it stopped. So that great voice of the Lord which was speaking stopped. And who is this Tan Mahad? So this Tan Mahad is obviously, I said, it is the great Lord's voice or the great Lord. But that Lord is being described in the second line. Bhutam Nabho Lingam Alingam Ishwaram. So Nabha Lingam means that one who is personified. Linga means personification. So like Shiva Linga is like the personification of Lord Shiva. So it's personification. So Nabho Lingam means one who is personified by sound. A Lingam means who is not personified. So who is personified as well as not personified. And our acharyas give the meaning that who is very hard to see. So personification means when you say a person, typically it means to see. So one who is heard by the sound vibration or is performed, personified by the sound vibration, but is not easily seen, that Ishvara, okay, that wonderful Ishvara, aham cha tasmai mahatam mahiyase. So I offered my aham cha tasmai, towards him I offered my mahatam mahiyase, means I offered my glorification to that great supreme Lord. And then she sharanam avanam vidadhe anukampitaha, and I did my shirsha pranam. Shirsha pranam means bow down my head to that person who gave vidadhe anukampitaha. Anukampa means great mercy. This word appears many, many times. Tomorrow is a very important class for Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, because tomorrow we are going to enter into the limbs of the mind. So there's a very, very famous verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam. You should, if you would like to prepare yourself for tomorrow's class, forget about Bhakti Shastri and getting the points. It is about getting the points in your life, your Bhakti points, your spiritual points. Then you should prepare yourself by reading 10.14.8. It's an extremely, extremely important verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Tatte anukampam susamikshamano. So many of you may have heard this verse before, but this verse where it is in the prayers of Lord Brahmaji after he was feeling sorry for what he did after stealing the calves and the cowherd boys. So it's an extremely important verse. And there also we have the word anukampa. Anukampa means kripa or mercy. So on receiving this great mercy, vidadhe anukampitaha, I did my shirsha pranam. I bowed my head unto the Lord. So, yeah. Anyone has a comment or question? Okay. So, a beautiful point that is mentioned by Sridhar Swami is that this prayer okay. So a very, very beautiful point that is mentioned by Sridhar Swami and other acharyas is that this prayer was not offered by Narada Muni in a thoughtful way, or in a planned way, we can say. So it was not planned. What happened was that on hearing the voice of the Lord, Narada Muni was so much in ecstasy that these prayers that came, what is written here, aham cha tasmai mahatam mahiyase, that I started glorifying the Lord. The prayers are not mentioned here in this chapter. Whatever prayers are there are not recorded. They are gone, or they are not present here before us. But there were prayers. And the point being made is that these prayers came automatically from the mouth of Narada Muni. Imagine he was a very small boy. And when he saw this vision or this, vigraha of the Lord in his mind, he was a small boy, but these prayers came out automatically from his mouth, just like breath comes out of our nostrils. You don't have to plan for breath to come out. You don't have to practice. It just happens. It is in fact hard to stop it. If you try to artificially stop it, you will be in trouble. It automatically happens. So that this is showing the nature of a devotee, that the glorification of the Lord, the kirtan of the Lord, is coming from the mouth of a devotee automatically. So that is a nice point I noted from the commentary. And yeah, there are no other main points here. So we will ask Makarand Prabhu to read the translation.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Then that supreme authority, personalized by sound and unseen by eyes, but most wonderful, stopped speaking. Feeling a sense of gratitude, I offered my obeisances unto him, bowing my head.
Thank you. Any other devotees have any realizations or anything you want to share? Please feel free to do that. And Balnitai Prabhu, please, that was, if you have anything to share, please do that.
I just think it's wonderful that upon his this experience, he just his outpour of devotion, he just offered his pranams and said glorification. I noticed there was not glorification there in the translation.
That is true. So the way Srila Prabhupada has sort of, there are a couple of interpretations that are possible. Mahatam, mahiyase means that's what I did, glorified, or Srila Prabhupada has translated it as, or in the word by word he has given as, the one who is unto the glorified. So he is the one who is glorified, but doesn't mean that glorification actually occurred in this as part of this verse, or as indicated by this verse. So again, I'm not a Sanskrit expert, but it depends on which mahiyase, mahatam mahiyase, what exactly is the grammatical correct use of the grammar. But that is the translation I read in one of the other translations by the acharyas, or the English translation of the translator. So I don't know. But go ahead.
That's nice. Is this feeling a sense of gratitude? How important it is for us to be grateful for the opportunities, for the for everything in our lives, especially in our devotional life, the association, the realizations, the inspirations, the and all in between.
Yes. And that is the anukampa, by the mercy of the Lord. So he was expressing his gratitude, feeling a sense of gratitude. So that is coming from that vidadhe anukampitaha. Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, next, 26. So this is a very important verse, and it is all about kirtana and smaran. So after hearing the voice of the Lord, and after paying his obeisances, after having this feeling of great mercy, receiving the mercy of the Lord, Nārada Muni was satisfied. And then, like it was said by the Lord in those verses, that I have done this because just to increase your desire for me. So you have seen this form only once. And he also mentioned that your seva or your bhakti is not fully complete, and that is why you cannot see me again. So Lord was being very straightforward with Nārada Muni, So Narada Muni understood that he has to complete his bhakti, his process of perfection, and kirtan and smaran are the best ways. We will talk about this tomorrow as well. So first kirtan, then smaran. So there is a sequence to it. And we will see both of those in this verse. So, okay, again, this is in the same Upajati meter. And please, my wife will try to sing this.
नामानि अनन्तस्य हतत्रपा पठन् गुह्यानि भद्राणि कृतानि च स्मरन् गां पर्यतं स तुष्टमनागतः स्पृहा कालं प्रतीक्षन् विमदो विमत्सरः.
Okay, very nice. So what is happening here? Namani anantasya hata trapah pathan. So anantasya of Lord Ananta or Lord Vishnu. What did he namani or namani, sorry, not namani, namani anantasya hata trapah pathan. So hata trapah means being freed from sort of all the material contaminations, or as the material contaminations were falling off, he started doing nama pathan. So nama pathan means doing nam's part. And one of the meanings of part is just recitation. Like we say, you know, Ramayana part, or we say Gita part. Gita part usually is a very common term where people would just recite the Bhagavad Gita. So Nam part. So Namani Anantasya Hata Trapah Pathan. So he started doing Nama Pathan, which means the chanting of the holy name. So Nama Pathan. So this is a very important part of this line. And then Guhyani Bhadrani Kritani Cha Smaran. And absorbing oneself, smaran, absorption or meditation or absorbed meditation. Tomorrow in the class, I will give more, a more sort of a refined way of understanding, or the English way, English words to define smaran. What exactly is smaran in a little more refined way. So today I will just say absorbed meditation. And some of the other words which we will use is contemplation, etc. So he was doing smaran on the Guhyani Bhadrani Kritani. So on all the beautiful Kritani means activities. So activities or pastimes. So on all the pastimes of the Lord. And what kind of pastimes? Guhyani, the confidential pastimes. So he started doing smarana of all the Guhyani, Kritani, and Bhadrani means which shower, benediction, or auspiciousness. So very, very auspicious, confidential pastimes of the Lord, he started doing smaran. So what he was doing, and tomorrow again we will see, smaran has certain levels. One starts with Nam Smaran, or one should start, not start, one should start the stage of smarana with Nam Smaran. Before that should come kirtan. Anyway, before smarana as a whole category should come kirtan. So that he did in the first line. Second line, then when he, you know, or when not he, but when we become more fixed, our minds become more fixed, we can go into smaran. And the first level within smaran is nama, then Rupa, then Guna, and finally Leela. And there are some more levels there, but the last one is Leela Smaran. Leela means the pastimes. And that is the level of Smaran he was doing, and that too, Guhyam or Guhyani, confidential. And Jiva Goswami says here that he was actually meditating on the pastimes of Lord Krishna with the gopis. Those are the most confidential pastimes of Lord Krishna and with his gopis, with the gopis, and those were the pastimes that is being referred to here. So though they are not detailed right now, obviously Shukadeva Goswami will go and reveal all of those pastimes in the Dasham Skandha, in the 10th canto later. But these were the beautiful pastimes, the most confidential pastimes of Lord Krishna that he was doing smaran of. And that is the meaning of the second line. And like this, what he was doing, Gam Paryatams. Paryatan, we say, Paryatan means tourism. In India, we have Paryatan department, which means the tourism department. So Paryatan is that word, Paryatams. So Gam Paryatams. So on this earth, he was doing Paryatan. He was touring the whole earth. Tushtamanah Gata Spriha. Tushtamanah means with a completely satisfied mind. And Gata Spriha means there is no other desires. Gata Spriha, he doesn't have to go anywhere. Go anywhere means, though he was traveling everywhere, it's not like he was going towards, oh, I have to go to London or New York, or I have to see the Eiffel Tower. You go somewhere with the intention to gratify your senses. So he was going around, but it's not like he was going towards some sense gratification. And kalam pratikshan. And like this, he was, pratiksha means waiting. And kalam means for his kala, means for his death. Or basically, which means that he was just, in this way, he was utilizing all his time in kirtan and smaran. That's what he was doing, and he was going from place to place. Vimado vimatsaraha. And vimad, mad. So mad means madness or a lot of envy and pride. So vimad means without any pride, and vimatsara. Matsara means enviousness, jealousy. So vimatsara. So which means with a purified heart. So like this, he was going around the whole planet. So again, quick summary. He was going around the whole planet in a with a very pure heart and with a satisfied mind, without any desire for any sense gratification. And what he was doing in that time, two things: kirtan of Naam and smaran of Leela. And what Leela? Guhya Leela. Guhya, auspicious, or Bhadrani. So auspicious Leelas, he was doing smaran. Okay. Anything else to add here? Hata trapah means being freed from any responsibilities, any material he did not have any, he did not take up any material responsibilities. After his mother's death, he didn't find a foster home to live with. He didn't, create any unnecessary material entanglements, which then he will be obliged to fulfill. He had one strong material attachment which got severed or cut, and he was happy that it, not happy, but he was like, okay, I don't want to add anything more. Today, when people have such situations, when they lose any relationship, then they enter into newer relationships, or they adopt pets or other things. So, because there is that need for a social connection. But he was at a much advanced level where he did not need that. Okay, I have some more notes, but I think I spoke about all those. Yeah. So, hata trapah pathan. So this word, yeah, this is one more point. So this thing can be taken together. That namani anantasya hata trapah pathan. So this hata trapah is also a quality of the pathan. And what it is signifying, I have not written down which Acharya wrote this, is that it is telling us that it is the chanting of the name without offense. So all the chanting that we do should be offenseless. There is no point in doing offensive chanting. It has very, very minimal effect. So our chanting we should strongly strive to do offenseless chanting without or avoiding all the nam aparadha. So this hata trapah also refers to the fact that that pathan was hata trapah, which means it was devoid of any desires, any material desires or any material entanglements, but it is pointing to offenseless, aparadha rahit naam. Aparadha rahit means devoid of aparadha. So that is the only other point which I wanted to add. Anything else?
This is really amazing. In the first canto, all of this is being revealed. This is super, super amazing.
Yeah, and I really enjoy reading the commentaries of the acharyas who bring out these points in each word. And it's very, yeah. That's why Srila Prabhupada spent a lot of his time just commenting on Canto 1. It's like if somebody reads Canto 1, that's pretty much more than enough to convert them into a pure devotee.
So you hear a lot of times you hear, oh, 10th canto, it's the Rasik canto, this or that, but one can dive very deep into so much into here on the Rasik level. It's very, very, such a beautiful verse.
Yes.
I love how you brought out this how Jiva Goswami brought this confidential aspects of what he was meditating on.
Yeah, he clearly writes there in the commentary, at least the English translation of Jiva Goswami's Sanskrit commentary by Bhanu Swami. It's clearly written. Guhyani means the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis.
I was thinking the same thing here, how the name reveals Rupa, Guna, Lila. I was also thinking the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I was reminding of the verse from Padma Purana, Upaninatvam Namanamino, that the name and the possessor of the name are non-different.
Yeah. Abhinnatvam. Abhinna means, bhinna means different. Abhinna nama namino. The name and the nami, the bearer of the name, are non-different, are abhinna. So that's a verse from Padma Purana. All right, let us see. Medha Mataji, could you please read this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thus, I began chanting the holy name and fame of the Lord by repeated recitation, ignoring all the formalities of the material world. Such chanting and remembering of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are benedictory. So doing, I traveled all over the earth, fully satisfied, humble, and unenvious.
Mm-hmm.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now here, as you can see, Guhyani is also not included in the translation. But yeah, that's one point I observed.
Even kalam pratikshan is also.
Kalam pratikshan. Yep, even that is not there. But yeah. Anyway. Okay. Then
where is the ignoring the sense? What's the Sanskrit for ignoring all formalities of the material world?
Yeah, this is that hata trapah. Like I said, he did not create further entanglements. He did not take on any more dependencies or any more responsibilities of the material world, which then he would be obligated to fulfill.
Yeah. Very nice. This is going beyond the artha, karma, dharma, moksha.
Yes, yes.
No longer desiring these things, but when one is absorbed in their meditation on the holy name, fame, qualities, they no longer want these things. Artha, karma, dharma, moksha is insignificant. The varnashram system is no longer a part of their desire. They're completely absorbed in Krishna bhakti.
Okay, we'll continue to number 27. And then, so 27, what happens is that Nārada Muni meets his death. And we will see some nice points here to realize in this verse. So now we are back to Anushtup. Anushtup meter, which is the eight syllables, 8, 8, 8, 8. That's the easy one. That's the standard, most common 90%. This is our 90% meter, like our Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. So that, So let's see. But when the words are different, it becomes, hard again. Evam Krishna Mate Brahman na asaktasya amalatmanaha kalah pradurbhuta kale tadita saudamini yatha. Okay, that was fairly okay, I guess. So, Evam Krishna Mate Brahman. So, Evam means like this, again, in this way or thus. Krishna Mater. Krishna Mater means fully absorbed, his mati, his mind, fully absorbed in Krishna. Brahman, or this is Nārada Muni talking to Vyasadeva. So he's addressing Vyasadeva as my dear Brahman. So like this, with fully Krishna conscious mind, with full Krishna consciousness, Krishna Mater Brahman, na asaktasya amalatmanaha. So na asaktasya, no material attachments. Asakti means attachments. So na asaktasya. Amal atmanaha means with a pure heart. Amal atma. And na asaktasya means no material desires. So my heart purified by having no material desires. Kalaha pradurbhuta kale. In due course of time. Kalaha. So in due course of time, kale, in time, pradurbhuta means it became a reality, or it came upon, basically, it finally, we say, dawned upon. Kalaha. Kalaha means it is referring to antakala. Like in Bhagavad Gita, there is antakale cha mameva. So this kalaha is my death came. How did death come? There is a little twist here. Tadita saudamini yatha. So there are 2 or 3 things to understand in this. But tadita means like a lightning. Okay. Like a lightning, the death came. So it is not like he, became old, it seems. Now, this rest of it is speculation. But it's not like he, became old. It came immediately like a lightning, suddenly, like on a dark night. And like saudamini means illuminates. So yatha means whatever is the, situation. So just the example is given that in a dark night, when the lightning comes, everything becomes bright, isn't it? You can completely see everything. Otherwise, it is pitch dark. You don't know whether there's a wall in front of you or is it an open field or whatever. But when lightning comes, the whole thing becomes like as if it is day. But it comes immediately, without any warning, without anything. So this is how death comes. So for most people, how death comes. And if this is the question, the answer is uninvited or without any warning. So it's a very sobering idea. Or, I mean, everybody knows this and sees this in other people. But we think that for us, death will give a long warning. My dear friend, you have 20 years. Better start planning, or whatever, even 20 weeks or 20 days. So it came as suddenly as a lightning. So death came. Okay. So that is the point to be noted here. Yeah. But the point was that not how the death came. The point was how he was living before death came. And before death came, he was living in a Krishna mater, in full Krishna consciousness. That's how he was passing his life. And na asakti, not attached to any material desires or attachments, and amal atmanaha. So this tells us, these three things tell us how to live our life. The rest is only by the way. Then the next, whether death comes slowly or instantly or with warning, without warning, doesn't matter. What should matter, because that is out of our control. This second half of the verse is out of our control. The first half of the verse is in our control. So we should worry about things within our control. What's the point of worrying how death will come? Whether it will come suddenly or slowly, it's all out of our control. So we should worry about that. And within that, we should worry about these one, or try to make our life full of these 3 points, which means full Krishna consciousness, no material attachments, and keep a pure heart. And full Krishna consciousness means kirtan and smaran. Shravan, kirtan, smaran, all those. Okay. So those were the points in this verse. Now, let me see something else. Yeah, so now, okay, we will read this translation and then I will introduce a new point in this verse, which is kind of nice. But anyway, let's read the translation. Surya Prabhu, kindly read.
And so, O Brahmana Vasudeva, in due course of time, I, who was fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna, and who therefore had no attachments, being completely freed from all material taints, met with death as lightning and illumination occur simultaneously. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Okay. Now, one nice point to note here, another commentary. Tadit saudamini yatha means that as lightning and illumination occur simultaneously. Obviously, it's kind of, you can say, obvious. If you are in a dark night and you turn on the light, everything gets illuminated immediately. It happens simultaneously or together. The light comes, or the lightning comes, and illumination occurs because light travels very fast. So it illuminates everything around. So it is kind of an obvious point. But the point here it means is that one of the points that is meant here, because you will see in the next verse, he will say, I attained, or having attained a spiritual body. Right now, he just died. Next verse, he has already attained a spiritual body. Are you following? So it looks as if a verse is missing. That he just died, then he took birth. He should have taken birth. Okay? And then the next verse, which is this one, if you see this one, if you see number 28, it says, having been awarded a transcendental body. This is now the Narada Muni as we know today, with the veena and, flying around. He can go anywhere. Like he went to Kamsa, he went to Ravana, he went to, so many places. So that Narada Muni, he got that body. But here, he just left his previous body. So what is being told here is that this, because light travels so fast, isn't it? As the moment lightning appears in the sky, the whole land becomes illuminated, which means his departure from previous body. And from here to the obtaining the new spiritual body. The point being, or let me not do this, let me just do single arrow. 0 time was spent, instant. The moment he gave up his previous body, now that may not be the case for everyone. There may be some time lag between giving up your body and getting a new body. But in his case, at least, it was instant. Just like as the lightning appears, the illumination occurs together. There is no delay. Unlike sound, if sound comes from far away, the sound comes and it takes some time to reach you. And it can be seen in lightning itself. You can see the lightning, but the thunder, you hear after some time. But the illumination occurs instantly. And you can see the lightning is appearing in the sky very far away. So that instant is what is being captured in this verse, that leaving the body and getting new body was instantaneous. Okay, why I'm mentioning so much this point, I will bring up in the next couple of verses. There's a beautiful, you can say mind exercise, or, we can do a little mental exercise on that. So did you get all this? What I said, that this was instantaneous. Keep that in mind and I will share more. Anything else? Now this point is coming from a commentary. I think Sridhar Swami or Vishvanatha Chakravarthy Thakura, one of those commentaries, this is coming up. But I'm just telling you, this is authentic words of previous acharyas. Anything else to add in this?
I was observing in this translation, especially, I was thinking of it earlier, and then the translation kind of solidified it. He's saying, being fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna, and who therefore had no attachments. So by our absorption in Krishna, our material desires go away, and by getting free from material desires, we have a pure heart. So like 1, 2, 3, how we live our life, it's like step by step. One has to think of Krishna in order for the material desires to go away. If we're thinking of getting free from material desires, then we're thinking of the material desires, but we have to think of Krishna. And by thinking of Krishna, that purifies them away.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Thanks. All right. Next, 28. I have to leave a little early today. So we'll see. We'll go up to 30 or something. And by 7:15, if I can leave, or it'll be good. Anyway, 28. So again, Anushtup, which is 8888. So Prayujyamane mayitam shuddham bhagavatim tanum arabdha karma nirvano nyapatat panchabhautikaha. So Prayujyamane mayitam. that prayujyamane means having been given, having been awarded. So which means body has been awarded somewhere in the previous verse. Now you understand that the awarding already occurred in the previous verse. So otherwise one would wonder, hey, he just passed away. When did he get the award? So that was included in the previous verse. Mayi tam. So Mayi means I got that body. The body became mine. I got that body. Shuddham Bhagavatim Tanum. And this body was Shuddham. Shuddham means spiritual body of Shuddha Sattva. It is referring to Shuddha Sattva, which is beyond the three gunas. There are the three gunas, Tamas, Rajas, and Sattva. And there is Shuddha Sattva, which is Guna Atita, which is beyond the three gunas. That is what is referred to here as Shuddham, which means he got a spiritual body. Bhagavatim Tanum, or Tanum means a body. Bhagavatim means those who belong to the Bhagavata, those who belong to Bhagavan. Who belongs to Bhagavan? Lord's Parikara. Parikara means the Lord's associates belong to Bhagavan. So which means I got what is being said in these two lines is I got a spiritual body fit, or you can say that Lord's associates get. You will see something like this in the translation. Yeah, you can see here, having been awarded a spiritual transcendental body, befitting an associate of the Lord. So he got such a spiritual body. That is what is being mentioned in the first two lines. Arabdha karma nirvano. Arabdha, you can just add a P here. I don't understand the Sanskrit very well, but the commentary clearly says arabdha is the same as prarabdha. So not P, but PR. So prarabdha. So all the prarabdha karma nirvano means after the burning up of all the prarabdha karmas. Obviously, all the prarabdha karmas were burnt up because he was singing the name of the Lord. It is said that if you take the name of the Lord, do kirtana, all the prarabdha karmas are burnt up immediately. So that is a well-known siddhanta. So arabdha karma nirvano, after the burning up of all my prarabdha karmas, and after the nya patat pancha bhautikaha, and after quitting my pancha bhautika, my body made up of the five bhuta elements, the gross elements. That means this is the material body. So after quitting the material body, due to the burning up of all the prarabdha karmas, I was awarded the spiritual body befitting a associate of the Lord. So what is being shown here, our acharyas say that this verse is proof that Lord's associates, which basically means all the liberated beings, have spiritual bodies. They do not have, even if you see them in the material world. Narada Muni is visible in material world, isn't it? He was visible to Kamsa and so many. There is probably not even many chapters in Bhagavatam which do not have Narada Muni doing something or the other. So many times he appears in his spirit. Of course, he is a special associate, but the point being made is all of Lord's associates have spiritual bodies. And this is shown in this verse very clearly in two ways. One way is that it is not made of the material elements. So there's a not aspect. And there is a Shuddham Bhagavatim Tanum, which means it is made of Shuddha Sattva, or a spiritual element, befitting a associate of the Lord. So both the positive and the negative. It is this and it is not this. Both sides are mentioned about the associate's body. Yeah. Okay, anything else here? Okay, let us see.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Arabdha means started from through the body.
Through the body.
Tanum arabdha.
Say that again. Tanum arabdha. So what are you saying?
Tanum arabdha. The karmas which were all started earlier by this body.
Okay, that also matches the prarabdha karma definition as well. But yeah, one of the acharyas, if you want, I can look up the commentaries. I have all of them opened up here. Means that it is the prarabdha karma. I will tell you. This is the Prayujyamane verse. So, yeah. So this is Srila Vishwanatha. Let me just, just for the sake of it, not to prove a point or anything, but just to share, since we are relishing. I'll stop sharing here. Start sharing this. Okay. Can you read Mataji here? Renuka Mataji, could you read this? You're on mute. This is Srila Vishvanatha Chakravarthy Thakura.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so this is Srila Vishvanatha Chakravarthy Thakura's commentary. He is in turn quoting Sridhar Swami.
Sridhar Swami says, Anena.
You can just read the English, what I've highlighted. Parshada Tanunam.
What is said in this verse is that the bodies of the associates of the Lord are pure without the prarabdha karmas and eternal. The Bahuvriti compounded arabdha karma nirvana means that he had destroyed the karmas like fire burning wood. But this means that the prarabdha karmas were not destroyed just now, but previously, for that is accomplished by sadhana. Prarabdha karmas.
Okay, yeah. So that is what I had.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So yeah, the commentaries of previous acharyas are available and can be referred to like this. Okay, let me share back this screen. Okay, so we were going to read the translation. Shalu Mataji, please read this.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Having been awarded a transcendental body befitting an associate of the personality of Godhead, I quit the body made of 5 material elements, and thus all acquired fruitive results of work, that is karma, stopped.
Okay, thanks. Okay, 29. Now we enter into some nice scientific discussion. And this is also some sort of a kind of a discussion of what happens, where the body goes at death and where it comes out and all that kind of thing. So let us see. First, we'll just go through these two verses, 29 and 30, and then we will see what is going on. So otherwise, they are very simple verses or straightforward. So we will read. Again, they are both anushtup. Kalpanta idam adaya shayane ambhasya udanvataha shishayishor anupranam vivishe antara aham vibhoh. So, kalpantaha idam adaya. So, kalpa anta. So, what is a kalpa? Kalpa means day of Brahmaji. And that is approximately 4.3 billion, we say solar years, or you can just say earth years, our years, 365 days. So that is what 4.3 billion earth years is one kalpa. So kalpa anta, at the end of the kalpa, idam adaya, the Brahmaji, what he did, he took with him, or he folded it up. It's like, a child is playing in a room. And when mom says, okay, all done, now time for study. So the child folds up all his play, all his toys, and puts it in a box, toy box, and puts it in the, in his, under the bed, let us say. Tomorrow again, he will play when there is playtime. Are you following? So like that, he folds up all his toys or all his, my kids used to play Lego. So all the Lego pieces and, put it back in the box and put it under the bed. So that is the kind of thing you can imagine what is going on. Just, that's my personal thing. Sorry if it is not very relishing. Shayane ambhasya udanvataha. So now this is a little complex, but who desired to sleep? Shayane means Brahmaji was feeling tired whole day, after hard days of work, he has to sleep. So this 4.3 billion earth years is his day, and the same 4.3 billion years is his night time. Okay, so he needs rest. So he sleeps for that much time as well. Okay, and then again he wakes up. So he wanted to sleep, and he entered into the ambhasya udanvataha, means he entered into the waters of destruction. Basically, he entered into the body of Lord Vishnu, and then the destruction occurred. Shisha shior anupranam, that to sleep, he wanted to enter into the body of Vishnu through the breath of Lord Vishnu. So when Lord Vishnu breathes in, he entered into the body of Lord Vishnu, along with his whatever he had folded up, his toys, toy box, you can think. All the living entities and everybody he took along in a box, so to say, and he entered into the body of Vishnu. Now, one more thing you will see later. Where does he take? He doesn't take it on his side. He himself breathes them in. So he takes all the living entities, puts him inside himself, and then he himself goes inside the body of Lord Vishnu to take rest. Okay, that is, now again, this is a little complex. I read all the commentaries 2-3 times. Maybe I got it a little bit wrong. So, forgive me. And you can also read all these commentaries. They're all available on Kindle and so on, and, get a nice understanding. But so he entered the body of Lord Vishnu. We'll come back and read the translations and all. We didn't read the last line. Vivishe antara aham vibhoh. So in this way, I entered into Lord Vishnu along with Brahmaji. So Brahmaji desired to sleep. He took me along with him into the body of Vishnu. Vibho means Lord Vishnu. Okay, this is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, from whom the, into which Brahmaji enters. Okay, we'll go to the next verse and then we'll come back. Sahasra Yuga Paryante Utthaya idam Sishrikshataha Maricha Mishra Rishayaha Pranebhyo Aham Cha Jaggire. So, Sahasra Yuga Paryante. So, after another 1000 yugas, this is after the passage of each kalpa, or Brahma's one day has 1000 yuga cycles. You all probably know that from Bhagavad Gita classes or from elsewhere. So after Sahasra Yuga Paryante means after so much time passed, 1000 yuga cycles equivalent of time passed. Uttheya idam sishrikshataha. So Utthaya idam, Utthaya means Uthgaye. Uthgaye means woke up. So I woke up. Not I woke up, Narada Muni is telling Brahmaji woke up. And Sishrikshataha means we say Shrishti, to create. So with a desire to create. Okay. So then he had the desire to create. Maricha Mishra Rishayaha. So Marichi is a great rishi. And Mishra means other, etc. and others like him. Rishayaha Pranebhyo Aham Cha Jaggire. So Jaggire, this is a very important word. Jaggire doesn't mean born. No, what is the meaning of Jaggire? In Hindi we say Jag gaye. Jagna, we woke up. Sorry. Woke up. All right. So we all woke up. So we were sleeping and pranebhyo aham. We came out of the breath of Brahmaji and woke up. Aham, cha, I also, along with Marichi and so many other great rishis are there. They are all resting. So can you imagine the situation? They all entered into Brahmaji, slept off. Brahmaji entered into Vishnu, he slept. When morning came, they all woke up. First Brahmaji came and then all the rishis came out of the breath of Brahmaji. Now this is a well-known fact. All of you know that Narada Muni is considered to be a son of Brahma. Isn't it? You have heard that?
Manasaputra.
Manasaputra, but Putra means son. Isn't it? But
yes,
our acharyas explain it's not that he's born from Brahmaji. He just appeared out from a sleeping state to a awakened state. And as you can see, Jaggire. And he came out from the pranebhyo. Prana could mean breath or the mind. But he came out of the prana of Brahmaji in a woken up state. And that is why he is called as a son of Brahma. And our acharyas give a very nice explanation here that it means that he was not, it is not like one should not consider that, because if you consider the other words, now I'm connecting some of the things. Here it is mentioned, Shuddham Bhagavatim Tanum. He has a spiritual body, which means anything spiritual is what? Is Sat, isn't it? Material, what is the meaning of material? What is the other name for material?
Asat.
Asat.
Asat. And the meaning of Asat means it dies or it is temporary. And Sat means permanent. So if his body is permanent, Sat or spiritual, which is proven here from verse 28, how can he take birth, or how can he have a body in the verse 30 from Brahmaji? That eternal body can never die. In Bhagavad Gita, we have heard that the spiritual element, there is no creation and there is no death. It is eternal. So It only means that he's the son of Brahma, just like a nice example is given. Krishna was born, many people say, from Devaki, but he's not actually born. It means he just appeared from the womb of Devaki. It appeared as if she was pregnant. She had a big swollen, what you call, like a pregnant woman. She looked like a pregnant woman. Kamsa saw that and he knew this 8th child is going to be born. So he knew all those things. By looking at Devaki, it looked as if she was pregnant, but it was just that the Lord appeared. He did not technically take birth. In the same way, that analogy has been drawn by our acharyas. Narada Muni did not take birth from Brahmaji. He just went from sleeping state to a awakened state. And Jaggire is a very important word here, which proves that. Jag gaye, Jaggire. So that is one aspect that is to be understood. Now let us read I will bring out some more points, and before that, let us read the translation. So let us see. Renuka Mataji, kindly read this one.
Hare Krishna. At the end of the millennium, when the personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, lay down within the water of devastation, Brahma began to enter into him along with all creative elements, and I also entered through his breathing. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. And Lakshmi Prasad Prabhu, can you read this?
Namaste, Prabhuji.
Hi.
I don't know how to read that that much big word, Prabhuji.
4.3 billion.
Okay. After 4.3, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. After 4.3 billion solar years, when Brahma awake to create again by the will of the Lord, all rishis like Marichi, Angira, Atri, and so on were created from transcendental body of the Lord, and I also appeared along with them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, if you see, like if you read the translation, were created from the transcendental body of the Lord, and I also appeared along with them. If you read the commentary of the acharyas, it will become more refined. It's not that Srila Prabhupada is saying anything wrong, but if you go in deeper into the words and commentaries, there's only so much you can capture in a translation, which has to be like 2 or 3 lines. Translation cannot be a purport. That is why purports and commentaries are important. Okay. Anything to add here? And if not, then I will add one nice point here. Anything else? So anybody can observe a problem. There is a big problem. I don't know if anybody observed it. In our last 20-30 minutes discussion, if you are like, I don't know, I mean, I'm not saying you're not listening carefully, but if you are like connecting some of the dots, we have a big problem. And our wonderful Acharya Jiva Goswami catches this. He's brilliant. Very, his mind works like a genius. Any problem you can find out from many verses, not just this one, like last 3-4 verses, the discussion we had.
Prabhuji, Pralaya occurred, and after that everything reborn.
So what is you have to state the problem. You are just stating a fact. Where is the problem with that? When
Brahmaji slept, everything went. When Brahmaji woke up in the morning, everything came back.
Okay, that's the right understanding. Where is the problem?
One thing I was thinking was the last verse, how he's pointing out, like, I was thinking one verse he's saying he attained a spiritual body, and then the next verse he's saying that he also was sucked into Maha Vishnu, or Garbhadaksha Vishnu, whichever it was at the time.
Bingo. Exactly.
If he has a transcendental body, then why did he get sucked in also?
Yes. Yes, exactly. You hit the point. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, where was this? Yeah. Tadit saudamini yatha, or tadit saudamini yatha. And we, if you remember, here we said 0 time. Okay? There was 0 time lapsed between when he gave up his material body and got the spiritual body, right? And the material body was present in the previous kalpa, right? And the spiritual body was in the new kalpa, in the new day, isn't it? And how much time lapses between there and when the previous, when he entered the body and then came out? How much time lapse? We just...
Very split second.
True, but something else we read just now. Lakshmi Prasad Prabhu was asking, how much time?
4 billion something.
4.3 billion.
4.3 billion
years.
Years. Okay. So which one is it? Is 4.3 billion years equal to 0 years? On the one hand, we are saying it was instantaneous. On the other hand, it is being said that there was just an interesting point. Okay, there is nothing, don't get too hung up about it, or it is just a way to relish Bhagavatam for the modern people, so to say. Okay. So how to understand this?
The time is different in the spiritual world and on the earth.
Yes, that's what I want.
Spiritual world. Okay, you are kind of close, but there is no spiritual world here.
Spiritual body.
Where is the spiritual world? He's not going. He's entering into Brahmaji's body, who is entering into Mahavishnu's body.
So it's like a second for the Mahavishnu. He's breathing in, breathing out. It's like a normal routine, but it is very less amount of time compared to the earth years that we spend here.
Yes, very nice. So that is the understanding. So this understanding. Jiva Goswami only points out the problem. Okay, he does not give a solution. He just says it is a pastime. Because entering and coming out is a pastime. But our devotees who have done some scientific work and with the modern understanding, but we know that, for example, earth years, okay, is how much? 4.3 billion earth years, which is equal to 1 day of Brahmaji. Isn't it? For him, 1 day has passed. And in that 1 day, 4.3 billion earth years have passed. This is most nicely brought out in the pastime of King Raivata or King Kukudmi, same person with different names, when he was trying to find a suitable match for his daughter Revati, and he goes to Brahmaji's planet. He waits there for 20 minutes. And in that much time, billions of years or millions of years have passed on earth. And he goes with a short list of kings whom to marry his daughter. And 20 minutes, Brahmaji was busy. And he then shows the short list. Who do you recommend that I should marry my daughter? Who is a suitable match? Here is a short list. And Brahmaji starts laughing, says, all these people are now dead. Because by the time you were waiting here for 20 minutes on earth, they all died and, their whole dynasties and generations have passed. So then he says, if you go back right now, Lord Krishna is going to appear, but Balramji has appeared. If you go back right now, by that time, Balramji will be older. You marry your daughter to Balramji. That's how Revati got married to Balramji. Okay, so this is called this concept of time dilation. So this is Brahmaji. But when you go into body of Vishnu, so you can see at Brahmaloka, from our perspective, time slows down. Okay? Time has slowed, which means for one day, imagine like, the sun is going around. How do you calculate day? Sun goes from east, rises in east, goes up, sets in the west. That's how you can say one day, right? If you have nothing else to do and you want to pass one day, just keep looking at the sun in the sky. That is one day, isn't it? Imagine if you have to keep looking for 4.3 billion years for the sun to rise and set. What would you call the motion of the sun? Very slow, isn't it? Extremely slow. If you have to keep looking for such a long time for the sun to, one day of Brahmaji is so time slows. Within the body of Vishnu, time stops. Okay, time doesn't even slow, it even stops. So the higher the position you go to, the higher the planet that you go to, the slower the time runs. All the way to within the body of Vishnu, it becomes 0. So basically, from a material time perspective, again, these are hard concepts, even I don't understand, but time as a material energy ceases to exist. And therefore, it can be said that when he entered the body of Vishnu and came out of the body of Vishnu, it was instantaneous. Because time as a material energy of Bhagavan doesn't even exist within Bhagavan. It is outside. His Shakti is outside. So that is the explanation. I thought it was a good mental exercise. Nothing more, okay? There may be many mistakes in this understanding. I somehow relished it, so I am passing it on to you. That's all. Don't go and do a PhD on this. All right. Okay, we will stop here. It is 7:30. So, and actually it's a logical point to stop, because then Narada Muni begins to explain and gives his final instructions to Vyasadeva before leaving, before disappearing, that now you should, therefore, or what he did is that I kept traveling all over the planet like he was traveling before death, but now in his transcendental body, he will keep traveling and glorifying the Lord. That's what Narada Muni does wherever he goes with his Veena. So he will give some final instructions to Vyasadeva, and that will be the end of the chapter. And then 7th chapter will begin, where Vyasadeva then begins to compose Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Any comments, final comments, questions, corrections? Okay. Very nice. Then thank you very much. I hope you relished Bhagavatam as much as I relished it. It was very enjoyable for me to read all these commentaries and go through the various words and go through these kind of on the side understandings. We are like, it's like you're going on the highway and then you see a nice, building, you stop, you kind of explore it, and then you again go forward a little more. There's no rush. If you see a nice thing, you stop and explore. So this whole discussion we had on time was like that. So again, you can all, I enjoy this activity thoroughly to do these kind of things. You can also enjoy and relish. Tomorrow we will meet for Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Like I was saying today, very important limbs of bhakti are coming up in the domain of the mind, limbs related to the mind. Please try to attend and understand the importance of bhakti through mind. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
One
Hare
thing,
Krishna,
just wait.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hold on.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare